So on the building layer, let's make a layer mask. Just come down to the bottom of the layers palette here and click on the Add Layer Mask button. And what I'll do is make sure that's activated, this mask right here. And then over here on the toolbar, I'll select black for the color for the foreground. And then I'll select the paintbrush. And by the way, I don't need this image here anymore, so I'll just go ahead and close that, just so it's not as distracting. But I'll select the brush tool here, and with a nice soft brush, so we'll turn the hardness all the way down, and the master diameter somewhere in the middle, or it looks like this will be good for now. And I'll just paint on this mask. And by painting on the mask, on this layer, we are basically removing the image. We are erasing the image away, revealing the layer below this image, which contains the sky. Look at that. Now I'm getting a little bit close to these buildings here, so what I'm going to do is turn down the diameter just a touch there. And this is sort of bringing out kind of like a foggy type of effect. Look at this. And we have these trees in the background. Now, I'm not crazy about the glow. What I can do is turn this brush up just a little bit higher. And fix some of that glow a little bit, so it's just not so noticeable. Something like this. And better yet, I think I'll just paint this through, because these trees right here were not originally there. Those are the trees from the lake image. You see that? And if I make that invisible, you can see this is the before, and this is with the clouds layer below it. So what we're going to do is use this as the background. But we're also going to fade or use a gradient and fill this top in here with black, or have it go from black to transparency down to the building, or down to these buildings down here. So let me go ahead and just make a new layer, and let's call this gradient. Then what I'll do is select the gradient tool, and up here on the options bar, let's select the second option. It's called foreground to transparent. Go ahead and click on that. And then what we can do is position this crosshair, and it's really small. You'll barely be able to see it. I'll zoom in here a little bit, and I'll move this image up. You see this? Oh, let me select it one more time. There we go. You see this little crosshair that I'm using right here? I'm going to position that at the very top of the image, and then hold down the Shift key on the keyboard and click and hold and drag down, and then release. And you can see that will fill it in, and so you'll have that gradual blend. Let's go ahead and try that again. It looks like I might have to come down a little bit smaller, or I'm sorry, a little bit lower down here. There we go. And here's a tip. If you ever want to increase the gradient or make it darker, what you can do is duplicate the gradient layer. You see that? So when you do that, that'll make it darker. Now, we'll go ahead and do that if we need to later on, but for now, I'll just leave it like this. So I like the background and everything. That looks pretty hot. I'm going to go ahead and leave that. All right, I'm not too concerned about the color, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it black and white for now. Let's go into the Adobe Bridge.